At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too, because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning, everyone. I'm meteorologist Mike Krueger. You're watching Coffee with Krueger, and this is what it looks like at Lake Elsinore. This is Plumas Pines Resort, excuse me, and you can see I got some snow coming out there. I'm going to take you to a different camera here, and this is going to take you to Chester proper. This is, of course, on their main road going through town. There you can see lots of snow that has accumulated on the ground, and we've got more snow coming in today, tomorrow, and really over the next few days. So looks like a bit of a mess out there, and it depends on where you are. Now this is a little bit of fun. This is from yesterday. Bob the dog in Bernie. Pamela sent us this image. We've actually seen Bob the dog before last year when it was snowing, and sometimes he just kind of has that look like, what's going on? What's going on with all this snow? Of course, it wasn't a ton of snow, as you can see there. Snow in Quincy. I want to thank Cheryl for sending in this picture here, and you can see some of the snow that they saw out in the Quincy area yesterday. This is this morning as of about 2 o'clock. Johnny reported about 3 inches of snow in Weaverville as of sending this picture. Most likely, we've seen more than that. Also have reports in Hayfork seeing some of that snow too. This is snow in Hornbrook. This is in northern Siskiyou County, north of Wairika. Brian sent in this image not too long ago. As you can see, a couple of inches of snow up there. Looks kind of a bit of a wet snow, but snow nonetheless. By the way, these photos were all sent through the free Weather NorCal app. You can do the same. I want to see your photos. I want to see your photos of the snow, of the rain, whatever it is, right? Check it on out. All you have to do is just search for Weather NorCal in your app store, and you will be good to go. All right, so we can see that snow that came through last night in the higher elevations. Now, the gusty south winds kept those temperatures in the low 40s for the valley. And that's the reason why we're not anywhere near even seeing a mix. It's just that rain right now in Redding. But this is what I was talking about when I say it's a mess out there. Take a look at the chain requirements. And this is something I talked about the last few days. We are seeing chain requirements north of Redding, east and west of I-5. Anywhere you go. If you're not in the mountains, it's raining. And that's the valley, basically. Otherwise, you've got snow, and down to about 1,000 feet, I'd say, in some cases here. And it's coming down in some spots here, which is why there have been spinouts on I-5. There have been spinouts in other areas of the higher elevations as well. It's not recommended to be on the roads this morning. That is for sure. And, you know, Interstate 80 heading out to Tahoe, excuse me, had closed because it was just, you know, there were a lot of spinouts. And you can see just a ton of chain requirements heading out to Tahoe. So again, not recommended to be on those mountain highways. All right, so let's see what it looks like on those mountain highways. This is on the left part of your screen, that's Fondale exit. They're actually screening all vehicles on I-5 just north of Redding, 10 miles north of Redding, to make sure you have chains. If you don't have chains, you're not allowed to go. Excuse me. Got a little bug in there. There's Pitt River Bridge. We've got Lakehead, looking at some snow up there. I'm going to turn my mic up. All right, there you go. I spared you the coughing. All right, so there you can see Dunsmuir. Unfortunately, the camera's down, but obviously probably snow there. Snowman Summit, it looks like we just got a bit of a whiteout conditions there. Mount Shasta City, you're seeing snow. There are chain requirements there, chain requirements on I-5. This is Central Wairika. You can see earlier there was some snow falling. Looks like that's not the case right now. Anderson Grade, North Hilt, right? All of these areas seeing that snow. Now we're taking out to Highway 199. This is in northeastern portions of Del Norte County. There's Colliertown, north of Colliertown, and getting close to the state line of Oregon, we have got snow and chain requirements up that way as well. Highway 97, this is northeast of Weed, Grass Lake. There you can see Doris. We are seeing snow on Highway 97. This is 299 West. We don't typically see snow here, but we do, obviously, during these snowstorms that we get that snow level low enough. Buckhorn Summit. Now, keep in mind, the image coming in for Buckhorn Summit is actually not the summit itself. The summit is over 3,000 feet. This is kind of at the base. So once we see the snow there, we can bet that at the base is probably even worse. Oregon Mountain, you've got snow there, and Berry Summit, we've got snow. Looks like Caltrans has done a great job keeping that road clear. Hatchet Mountain on Highway 299 East. Four Corners, as it's known, as we get northeast of Bernie, snow. We got Cedar Pass. Looks very slick up there. There are chain requirements. Shingletown, 3,500 feet, center of town. You got snow there. Lassen Park entrance, Bogard Ranger Station. We are seeing chain requirements in these areas. Look at the winter wonderland you've got there in the Chester area. Of course, we saw the snow there earlier. Highway 36 and Highway 89. That's the intersection there. Johnson Grade for down your summit. You got a lot of snow piling up on the lens. Can't really see too much, can you? Highway 36 and 44. You've got snow there. You got Highway 36 Townhill and East Riverside. This is in Susanville. Actually, this has gotten worse since I last looked at it. We're getting more snow in the Susanville area. Janesville, well, now we're getting an image there. You can see the snow. Doyle, we've got some snow, as well as Highway 395 at Highway 70. And look at the snow. It actually got worse. We're starting to see that snow push eastward into the eastern mountains, hence the snow that we were seeing in that area. By the way, I want to remind you, you can always check the latest road conditions at weathernorcal.com. I'm going to take you to the website. And the website is a great source for finding out what's going on with the road conditions. You can just scroll down here, see where it says road conditions. Now, you can scroll down and you can just very easily click right here, and that's going to give you the chain controls, right? But then right here, look at this. Super easy at a quick glance. I-5, Highway 8997, right? You can see all of the snow. And what's cool about this is you can check on your laptop, you can check on your computer, you can check on your phone, you can check from the free Weather NorCal app, and you'll see all of these, just quick glance, at a glance, all of these. So you can see if you're driving around or if your friend is driving you, you can get on your phone and check the latest cameras. So be sure to check that out. weathernorcal.com, and then just click on the road condition section here and you will be good to go. By the way, again, I want to remind you that if you are out and about, or if you live in an area where it's snowing, I want to see your snow photos. It's very easy for you to do that from the free Weather NorCal app. Let me know where you are, your elevation, and how much snow you have seen. You'll probably see it on the morning update or sometime during the day, maybe on social media and live on the Coffee with Krueger show, as you see right now. Now, I also want to remind you that there is a 24-hour streaming channel that you have access to 24 hours a day. Now, it's not on regular TV. Some people say, what channel is it on? It's not on a channel, but it is on a Roku. If you've got a Roku, just search for Weather NorCal in that app store. Same thing for Fire Stick. YouTube, anywhere YouTube's available. I got a YouTube channel, and the 24-hour channel is there as well. Just search for Weather NorCal. So you can watch it right there on your big screen TV. Love it, right? All right. Before we get to the Krueger's Quick Catch, we're going to check in with some of you this morning, see how everybody's doing this morning. We've got Lisa Stevens, our regular, saying Happy Tuesday, all. Have a great day. Jackie Dixon out in Trinidad. It was a wild night, rain, hail, thunder, lightning. A little hail this morning as well, maybe even accumulating. And I saw those lightning strikes on the radar. Probably saw that a little bit earlier this morning as well. So thank you, Jackie, for that confirmation. Marilyn Barker, excuse me. Hopefully, we sure miss, Mike, hopefully we get good snow. Well, we'll see. And we're going to be talking about the potential for snow in the valley, by the way. Things are going to get a little interesting. Not necessarily today, not necessarily even tomorrow, but Thursday morning, things could get a little bit crazy out there. Sandra asking, Mike, how do I know if I can drive from Redding to Shasta Lake without delays? This morning you should be okay. The only delay you're going to be dealing with is, well, you know, that's south. That'll be city of Shasta Lake. Just rain getting up to the city of Shasta Lake, at least this morning. So you'll be fine there. And you're asking on the freeway, you'll be fine on I-5. What happened to Sarah? Okay, I think you're talking about Sarah on Channel 7. I don't know. I don't work at Channel 7. I haven't worked at Channel 7 for like 2 years, 3 years. I'm not at Channel 7, so I don't know. I don't know what happened to Sarah. That is funny. That is hilarious. No, I don't work at Channel. I haven't worked at Channel 7 for like 3 years. If you see my car with Weather NorCal, it's not for Channel 7. It's for Weather NorCal. It's for my owned company, Weather NorCal. I love it. Good morning from paradise. Good morning to you, Rebecca. You know, it's not looking all that promising for snow for you. However, if you do see snow, now it's looking more like Thursday. And again, we're going to talk about that in a little bit more detail. I've got one of our regulars, Curtis Brown, checking in this morning. Heavy downpour after sunset last night. Quiet the rest of the night. Well, thank you for that report. We got Chuck Tosh saying good morning. We've got a good morning and a thank you for Julia Rogers. And we got Lynn Jones saying, wow, weather today. Yeah, it's crazy, right? We got the snow in the mountains. We got the heavy rain elsewhere, and especially in the north end of the valley. Not terribly heavy. Jackie's saying, good morning. It's raining pretty good in Redding. It is. I can kind of hear the pitter-patter on my roof this morning. Tamisha Cruz, I believe I'd say that name. Good morning, Mike. Good morning to you. Good morning to Debbie. Thank you. Have a great day. And Megan saying, when should we expect snow? Now, number one, I have no idea where Megan lives. So when you say, when can we expect snow? If you live in Weaverville, well, you're getting it now. So you can expect it now. If you live in Redding, all right, I'm just going to kind of not disclaimer, but I'm going to give you a little bit of a teaser. Don't expect any rain for the valley today. Tomorrow morning, maybe. Better chance tomorrow night into Thursday morning. So we'll see about that. And of course, we got Pam, Georgia Carver, saying good morning. Good morning to you as well. So let's get to Krueger's Quick Cast, shall we? And get you out the door here this morning. We're going to start with the current temperatures out there right now. And you can see it's low to mid 40s in the valley. Now, you're probably wondering, wow, why is it so warm there? Well, because the winds are blowing, and that's kind of keeping those temperatures up a bit. We talked about this, even with that potential for rain and snow in the valley, even yesterday. With the winds, that prevents us, especially south wind, that prevents us from seeing snow because it just warms things up. So we have this warm layer here, and that surface air above us, yeah, it's cold. It's snowing above us in the valley, but it's melting by the time it makes its way to the ground because it's just too warm. But you can see in the mountains, pretty much anywhere you go, look at that. You're at least at or below freezing. Although Hoopa and Willow Creek, you are in the mid to upper 30s. You've got those lower elevations there. There are the winds right now. That's why it is so quote unquote warm in the valley compared to everybody else. We take you through the day though. The winds will start to subside, especially later on this evening and tonight. We take you to tomorrow morning and the winds will certainly be calmer as well. And that could potentially lead to the potential for snow. But keep in mind that it's going to be fairly dry Wednesday morning. So chances for snow are very slim. If there was rain and snow Wednesday morning, then yeah, I think Redding would most likely be looking at snow. All right, so there you can see today, we got showers and even some thunderstorms, not only for the coast, but even the valley could see some of that. But look at all the mountains, Trinity County, Siskiyou, Modoc, Eastern Mountains. Those are all snowflakes, folks. It's going to be snowing off and on all day in the mountains. And so the chain requirements we have now, that's going to continue through the day. Look at the speckled clouds and that spin just to the west of Seattle. See that spin? That's the area of low pressure. That colder air has all been pulling down. Now there's a cold front that's kind of the leading edge of this cooler air helping to transport that colder air in. It's along that cold front we're seeing those gusty winds. So they'll probably pick up a little bit this morning before we get behind that cold front. Winds will start to die down. So kind of that typical horseshoe, right? Where you have the rain in the valley and then surrounding it in the mountains, you've got that snow. Showers, possible thunderstorms for the valley today and for the mountains, for the coast. For the mountains, you've got more snow down to about 1,000 to 2,000 feet. Hayfork, Weaverville, you're seeing snow throughout the day today. Then we take you into tonight, tomorrow morning. You see what's happening? It's actually starting to dry out a little bit. This is why if we see any snow, it'll be very light in the Redding area, but it may be cold. It definitely will be cold enough. The winds will be calm enough that if we can get some precipitation over Redding, it'll most likely be in the form of snow. So yeah, we can't rule it out. We did see some of those kind of stray there on Futurecast. Well, the Mount Shasta Ski Park is expected to officially open today. They announced it yesterday, and with the added snow that we're going to see on top of what they've already seen, it's all good. And they're also going to be making snow to kind of really help lock in the snow that they have now. So you can see that the rain chances continue through Thursday, but I do expect a drop off in that chance by Friday, Saturday. Yeah, before we see more wet weather by Sunday and Monday of next week. Jackie's saying definitely getting more hail in Trinidad right now. Well, there you go. Lois saying, we had a crack of thunder above my house in McKinleyville. Sent the dog into a panic, covered the garage that night. All right. Thank you for those reports, by the way, Jackie and Lois. There you can see those temperatures are in the upper 40s, low 50s in the valley, and I do think we're going to see a chance for thunderstorms as well as along the coast, and snow and cold in the higher elevations. Tonight, look how cold it gets. So when you see a temperature of 28 for that overnight low in Redding, and even Chico at 33, you'd say it's going to snow. Well, you got to have the moisture first. You got to have the precipitation first. And it doesn't look like there's going to be much precipitation late tonight, tomorrow morning. But then there will be more coming in through the day Wednesday, especially Wednesday night into Thursday. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit more detail a little bit later. So there's your 7-day forecast. We got a lot of PM snow tonight, maybe some AM snow tomorrow. If we can get that snow and that precipitation, chances for rain increase through the day on Wednesday. Could we see the potential for more morning snow? Redding, Red Bluff, Chico, maybe some snow? What? Yeah, it's new now. I woke up this morning, I'm like, what is going on? Now we got the potential for snow in Chico, and we're going to talk about that in more detail a little bit later. By Friday, we kind of start to quiet things down, especially for Saturday, and then Sunday, Monday, we've got more wet weather in the forecast. There you can see the chance for thunderstorms today. Already seeing it this morning for the coast, off and on through Thursday. Inland, see that chance for showers and thunderstorms. You see things starting to kind of dry out a little bit. Snow for Weaverville today and tomorrow. And take a look at that 7-day forecast for Siskiyou, Modoc County, Eastern Mountains. Yeah, I think we're going to see really things quiet down for the most part, especially Thursday into Friday. Friday, though, still a chance for a little bit of isolated activity here and there, a flurry here and there for the mountains, a stray sprinkle, light shower in the valley. Dry on Saturday, though, I think across the board. Yeah, and then we got more activity coming in Sunday into Monday. Let's see here. We got a couple more people checking in this morning. And Pam saying, rain and wind is coming in fast at my place. Holy smokes, the wind. I'm in central Redding. Yay, ski park open. Well, okay, so you're getting wind right now. Interesting. I'm not really experiencing that wind where I am. So I guess it just depends on where you are. We've got Bobby Westman saying, how much thunder do you think Eureka will have today? Asking for my dogs. Yeah. Well, expect it off and on through the day today. I mean, we saw it last night. We're seeing some of it this morning. I think we could see more here as we go into the rest of the afternoon. There you can see that wet roads on Highway 99 at Neal Road. Red Bluff is looking a little wet as well. Well, look at this. We've got a new coastal flood advisory that just came in for the coast. This, I mean, literally just came down. A coastal flood advisory in effect from 10 a.m. this morning to 1 p.m. this afternoon. That's mainly due to the high astronomical tides. Doesn't have anything to do with the rain. So just note that we have got to a quarter foot of saltwater inundation above the ground level is possible near shorelines between 8.8 and 9.1. There we go. And okay, so just note that there is now a coastal flood advisory. Looks like it's for basically the coast of Humboldt County. All right, let's look at Sundial Bridge Drive this morning. We've also got a couple of other people checking in. We've got Donna saying, good morning. Thanks, Mike. We have a crisp 8 inches of snow at 3,800 feet on the Salmon River. All calm now. Feels like winter. Absolutely. Thanks for that report. 8 inches of snow. That's awesome. Taking a look at Crescent City this morning, a little overcast, seeing some showers there, and even a few thunderstorms have been reported. There's a look at Bald Hill West, a little bit on the foggy side for some of the higher elevations and down to some of those canyons and into those mountain valleys. Soda Ridge also kind of socked in with that fog. This is in Siskiyou County that we're looking at. Look at this, Fort Jones. Oh man, I'm so glad the clouds parted because now we can see that confirmation. Looks like Fort Jones and Etna, you got snow. Look at that. That is so cool. I love it. That is gorgeous. Oh, man, I could look at that all day. I mean, seriously, put that on a postcard. That is so cool. Fort Jones, look at that. And, of course, no big surprise there. The Good Lassen Park, it is absolutely gorgeous up there. Check this out. We've got McLeod is officially getting hit hard. Thank you for that report. I always appreciate that. That's what I love about this, right? We can all communicate with one another. You let me know what's going on in your hometown and get that really validation, that confirmation of, those snow levels that I'm reporting on, right? So definitely interesting there. Again, another look at Bob the dog and Bernie. This is from yesterday. Pamela sent in this photo. You may recall Bob the dog from last year. Pamela sent that photo when we got snow in Bernie last year. Snow in Quincy. And when she sent this, she said, according to the Weather Bureau, it's actually raining in Quincy. But no, it's not. Of course, as you can see there, it was snowing. Snow in Weaverville as of about a little after 2 o'clock this morning. Johnny sent this, had 3 inches. Most likely, you've got more than 3 inches at this point. Hornbrook also have a confirmed reports of snow in Hayfork, I believe. You can also see snow in Hornbrook, which is in northern Siskiyou County, north of Wairika on I-5. I want to thank Brian for sending in that photo. And again, I want to remind you, you can share your photos from the free Weather NorCal app if you want to see them right here. As you know, Coffee with Krueger, Weather NorCal would not be possible without our sponsors. So I want to thank Wind River for supporting Coffee with Krueger. Since day one, they have been the sponsor of Coffee with Krueger since it was born. All right, so thank you, Wind River, for your support over the years. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, a wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. All right, let's take a look at that weather headlines. We're kind of out of the, quick cast. Now we're going to go into that deep dive. And here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to be talking about, it's not here in the headlines, the potential for snow in the valley. There still is that potential, folks. It's not necessarily today. Tomorrow, slimmer, but Thursday? Interesting. Low snow levels leading to chain requirements in the mountains. We've already seen that. It's a mess up there in the mountains. Off and on mountain snow all day long, and there are going to be periods of heavy snow, by the way, in all of the mountain locations. Possible thunderstorms for the coast and the valley. Snowflakes still possible for parts of the valley. Interesting. All right, so we're going to get into all of that in our deeper dive forecast, which is sponsored by Shasta Hearing Aid.
Hearing loss can creep in little by little until one day you realize something's been missing. It's not about things being louder, it's about the moments that slip by. The joke you didn't quite catch, the quiet I love you, or the conversations with your kids that deserve the full attention. At Shasta Hearing Aids here in Redding, we believe hearing aid care should feel personal. Through compassionate care, a comprehensive hearing aid screening, and technology tailored to your lifestyle, we help you reconnect to what matters most. Schedule your free hearing aid evaluation today.
All right, let's get you right to it. We start off with the radar here. Now, for those of you that are in Redding, you may have noticed the rain coming down. We're going to start to see that rain begin to come down a little bit more out in the Red Bluff area and Corning, and this will all head eastward. So I think Chico will eventually get in on this. And you can clearly see those strong south winds warming things up in the valley, keeping those temperatures in the low 40s. So what's happening is up high, it's snowing, but then it comes down to the warmer air over the valley and it melts and it turns into rain. And that's essentially what's happening. But we have all that snow in the higher elevations and we're getting all kinds of confirmed reports thanks to you. Either instant message me on Facebook or right here live on the show. But there you can see that cold front. That's what's passing through. That's the source for some of the gusty winds that we are seeing currently. Now, in advance of it, the warmer air behind it, look at the speckled clouds. All that colder air is moving in, lowering those snow levels and giving us that complete and total mess that we are seeing in the higher elevations. And the thing is, we look at the long range. It's going to start with that long range. We have this cold and unsettled weather pattern through Wednesday, and there you can see even Thursday that potential. Now, as we go into Friday, Saturday, look what's happening. We start to dry things out a little bit here, and then by Saturday night into Sunday, more wet weather, and then we've got more cool and unsettled weather here as we go into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, and some cold air associated with these, keeping those snow levels fairly low. We're also looking at the potential for thunderstorms in the valley. We've already seen those thunderstorms this morning and last night along the coast. And you can see we're also seeing that hail, that potential for hail. Now tomorrow, better chances for thunderstorms for the coast than say the valley, but then we'll probably reintroduce that chance for thunderstorms for the valley come Thursday. All right, so here's a look at Futurecast. Here we go. Pay attention because we're going to be talking about that potential for snow in the valley too. But look at this morning. Look at all that heavy snow. This is why we've got chain requirements all over the place. Even on I-5, they're screening all vehicles in north of Redding at the Fondale exit to make sure you've got chains. If you don't have chains, folks, they're not letting you go. That's the bottom line. There you can see it. Of course, we've got that rain that we are going to be looking at here this morning as well. Now, we go into midday. You see how it's kind of breaking up, but there are going to be bands of heavy snow off and on through the day in all of the higher elevations, including places like Hayfork and Weaverville. We may see the snow levels rise a little bit today, but not by much. Scattered showers, possible thunderstorms in the valley. Scattered showers, possible thunderstorms along the coast. Now we take into 5 p.m., still the same situation. See how things are starting to kind of dry out a little bit here for the valley. And really not even much activity for the coast later on this evening. But we see another little push right here. You see that? This is midnight tonight, going into early tomorrow morning. You see some of the heavier rainfall, maybe some hail, and some strong thunderstorms. And look at this. The snow is hugging the coast. I just actually noticed that. So, I mean, it's probably just going to be in the form of that hail, but it should be interesting here, midnight tonight. Now, look what happens. As this pushes eastward, as we go to 6 a.m., things are starting to kind of dry out a little bit. We've got a little drier slot of air that's moving on in, so that's not going to really support a lot of rain or even snow for that matter. But there may be just enough leftover moisture that, yes, it will be cold enough. We saw those early morning lows on Wednesday morning, and they're going to be in the upper 20s. So if we can get any precipitation in the valley, it would be in the form of snow. So we can't rule that out early tomorrow morning. Is it a big deal? Obviously, as you can see, no, it's not. But then you can see just some scattered snow flurries in the higher elevations. Let's take you through Wednesday. Now, Wednesday midday, we're beginning to see the next disturbance right here. Cold and unstable air, and some showers and thunderstorms popping up along the coast. That's tomorrow around midday. Notice, though, it's fairly dry everywhere else. All right? Now we're going to take you into the afternoon on Wednesday. Now, Wednesday afternoon, evening, we're starting to see things begin to pick back up again. Showers, possible thunderstorms for the valley. More showers, possible thunderstorms for the coast, and some accumulating hail. Heavy snow developing late in the day Wednesday for elevations down to about 2,000 feet and locally lower. Now, watch this. This is where things get interesting. There's Thursday morning, 5 a.m. You look at that. We got snow even in Chico possibly, maybe Oroville and Willows too. I think everyone in the valley has a chance at this point of snow. Now, a little bit later, I'm going to show you what we look at here to kind of, one of the things that we look at when we're forecasting snow is what we call the vertical profile. We look at what's known as a skew-T log P. And what it does is it takes a temperature profile of the atmosphere, it takes a profile of the humidity, the amount of moisture, dew point temperature in the atmosphere as well. And we use those lines, how close those lines are together, dew point temperature and temperature. When they're really close, that means it's precipitation. So what I'm seeing here is this. And I touched on this yesterday if you watched my Facebook post about the deep column of cold air. We've got that, folks. We've got that on Thursday morning. We've got a deep column of cold air right over the valley. And we've also got a deep column of snow. You see this? This is not just light snow, it's heavy snow potential here. So we can't rule this out, folks. We can't rule this out. This is something I'm going to be watching very closely. Now, I want you to note, this right here is not guaranteed. Forecasting snow in the valley, oh man, it is like my Achilles heel. You're like, ugh, it is so difficult. Because sometimes you don't know it's going to snow, honestly, sometimes until it's actually happening. Because suddenly wind shift, change in the overall wind pattern, that's all it can take, right? Maybe get a little surge of colder air that's unexpected. Or sometimes, as you see here, it's heavy rainfall. Sometimes you can have that snow, it's coming down so heavy that it brings down that colder air along with it, and we tend to see the snow in the valley as a result too. So again, there's just so many factors. If this isn't as heavy as it looks here, if this ends up just being light, it may not be a big deal, but it is worth watching. Now again, this is Thursday morning. You're still seeing that heavy snow off in the eastern mountains, but look at this. Things are starting to dry out behind it. So as we go into about 8 o'clock in the morning, snow in the eastern mountains, drying out in the valley, dry off to the west as well, and we're starting to kind of dry things out for the most part a little bit. Now, still some scattered showers, possible thunderstorms even for the coast. Still some scattered snow flurries in the mountains come Thursday afternoon, Thursday evening, but by Thursday night, we're kind of starting to wrap things up even as we go into Friday. Now, Friday morning, see what's happening? We're trying to see a few showers developing, but overall, we're not expecting much in the way of rain or snow through the day on Friday, and especially for your Saturday. So, thing is, there's a lot of spread between all these showers. I would say that we're going to see maybe about a half an inch to maybe upwards of an inch through Friday. So not a lot, maybe a little bit more for those along the coast. So we still have the winter storm warning, which still, now remember yesterday, the National Weather Service did include Redding down to Corning And with some of the snow chances that I'm seeing, even for Willows and Chico, we could possibly put that warning down south as well. But this is a winter storm warning through Thursday, 10 p.m. But again, you saw on Thursday, we're just not seeing as much snow. All right, let's take you day by day. Trace amounts, right? On top of what we've already seen here. Then we go through the day, 2 to 4 inches of Mount Shasta, 2 to 4 inches for Weaverville, Hayfork. I think we may see more than that Mount Shasta, honestly. These are the raw numbers, by the way. I haven't adjusted them. I think we're going to see the heaviest amount of snow here down to the south and east. Again, this is just for today. All right, let's tack on what we're going to see here as we go into Wednesday. You see, we actually see things are fairly quiet. We're not going to see much more as we go into Wednesday. Reading is kind of picking up on that. And look at this. Yeah. Right? It's picking up on that snow we were just talking about for early Thursday morning. It's showing actually more snow for Chico than Reading. Now, that probably won't be the case. But again, we can't rule this out. We can't rule out, especially if it's that heavy snow, it comes down fast. And if it's there for an hour or so, you're talking several inches of snow, possibility. If it's heavy. Right? What I saw yesterday for Wednesday morning was decent amounts of rain over the valley and snow at the north end of the valley because there was actually moisture there. There was rain, there was precipitation. Latest models now are saying, no, there's really not going to be much precipitation Wednesday morning. Just like that, the forecast changed, didn't it? We were expecting maybe some snow Wednesday morning. Now it doesn't look like that may happen. It's Thursday. Thursday is now what we've got our eyes on. All right, so we'll watch that here very closely. That's not guaranteed, by the way. All right, we always have to remember that. When we're talking snow, that many days out, even 24 hours out, that's never guaranteed. I can tell you that much right now. All right, so there you can see, there's the snow. The darker blues is indicating where the heavier snow is, so that is going to continue to be an issue here with those chain requirements. Everywhere we're seeing chain requirements now, we could still be looking at chain requirements through the day and into tomorrow morning. Now there you can see heavy snow in the Sierra. We're talking 4 to 8 feet of snow once all is said and done, combining what we saw over the last 24 hours as well. Let's take you through the day today. Look at that. Just dumping down with snow through the morning and into the afternoon. There's that heavy snow, and then by the time we get into Wednesday morning, it may taper off a bit, but it is going to be a total mess on those highways going to Tahoe. Wind advisory has now been extended to 10 p.m. Thursday. All right, so let's talk about those winds because that is also going to be a factor. So the winds this morning, blowing from the south, keeping those temperatures up, no snow in the valley as a result. All right, we go into your Wednesday morning, calmer winds, but remember, it's dry. So if we see any snow, it'd be around Reading, maybe a flurry or two, but nothing significant, okay? That would be Wednesday morning, fairly dry for the valley. But look at the winds there. You can see how they're calm. They pick back up again Wednesday evening. So if these winds were to stick around through Thursday morning, look at this. Here we are Thursday morning at 1 a.m. Still gusty. All right? This is going to be the key. This right here is the key as to whether or not we see snow on Thursday morning. Look what happens by the time we get to 5 a.m. The winds just shut themselves off. If this comes into play, not only are those south winds shutting themselves off, but we've got, look where the winds are coming from. They're coming from the north. That, my friends, is what could be the make or break in the forecast for snow. If what we're seeing here materializes, the winds shut themselves off Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and we got more of a north flow of winds, it's going to be snow. Bottom line, end of story. But remember, these are things that we talk about, why it's so tricky forecasting snow in the valley. Why is it? Because it's think about like a cookie recipe. If you don't put in the sugar, the cookies are terrible. If you don't put in the chocolate chips, you don't have chocolate chip cookies anymore, do you? Same thing here. You take out one of these ingredients in the forecast, it's gone. Snow is gone. No more. So we'll watch that. As of right now, though, it looks pretty promising. We'll see. It's always that kind of, people say this, I'll believe it when I see it. And quite honestly, even as a meteorologist, sometimes that's how I feel too. All right, so we take you into Thursday, 5 p.m. Winds are kind of starting to calm down a little bit, and that'll be the case on Friday as well. Still a little gusty at times in some spots here. And the strongest winds from now through Friday, I mean, they're not going to get much higher than over 30 miles, maybe close to 40 in some spots here. But looking at the temperatures, oh man, right? You think about what we saw, the first couple of weeks of February, it was like upper 60s, low 70s in the valley. Now we're below normal. And we're going to warm up a little bit, but still below normal even as we go into this weekend and early next week. Love showing this. This is always just kind of a daily reminder of how our lake levels are looking, and they're looking phenomenal. Over 100% of average for this time of the year. We'll take it. Wave heights are fairly high today. They are showing signs of backing off a bit here as we go into Wednesday afternoon. But that all being said, there is a small craft advisory for today with your winds from the west at 10 to 15 knots, waves from the west at 6 feet at 6 seconds, and from the northwest at 12 feet at about 12 seconds. All right, here is your North Coast Neighborhood Forecast, sponsored in part by Dignity Health. We got those temperatures upper 30s, low 40s for your daytime highs. All right, so the 7-day forecast, again, I'll just kind of briefly talk about it because we talked about what's going to happen today, so I don't need to really touch too much on that. But what we're looking at here is by the time we get into around Thursday, things are starting to quiet down, but still a chance for some snow flurries here and there in the mountains on Thursday. Maybe a stray shower or sprinkle in the valley. Then on Friday, I'm expecting mainly dry conditions. Also, mainly dry conditions for your Saturday. And Sunday, possibly even for Modoc County and the Eastern Mountains, dry as well. So dry for the most part, dry and dry. Then by Monday of next week, at least for the Eastern Mountains, you get a better chance for that more snow coming in. Now for the valley, let's talk about it here. AM snow in Oroville. AM snow on Thursday, possibility. Maybe still a chance for a few stray showers here and there for Friday. Who's calling me? I don't know who's calling me. And then Saturday, we got temperatures low 50s and then mid 50s by the time. Who is that? Someone's calling me. I don't know. I'm doing a live show. I can't be doing that. All right, so let's take a look at that 7-day forecast for Chico. So yeah, we'll kind of talk in more detail. Cool, right? Mid to upper 40s. Snow in the morning. We got snow in the morning, right? Possibly. Again, if all the stars align, maybe an isolated shower on Friday, dry for Saturday, and then more showers coming in Sunday and Monday. All right, take you up to the north. 49 for Redding, 48 degrees for Palo Cedro, 49 in, that's Red Bluff, not Wind River. That's no. It looks like it though, right? And then we could see a chance for some of that morning snow for both tomorrow morning and especially better chances as we take you into Thursday. Getting very interesting around here, my friends. Getting very interesting indeed. And then if we go into Saturday, things are drying out. I need to see who this is. Hold on one second. Hello? I'm actually live right now. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm not doing that this morning. So we can do our normal time. But I appreciate, that's perfect. Yes, we're good.
All right, we'll call you back.
Okay, bye. That was the radio station, folks. And we do live updates. So we have to kind of postpone that for now. All right, anyway. Got a little distracted there. So there it is. Let's kind of check in with some of you this morning, see how everybody's doing, what's going on here. Cancel. Here we go. All right, so here we go. We got Nancy saying we have a nice dusting of snow in Junction City, and I'm gonna stop this all. We're gonna kind of get you going here. We're gonna start with let's do chain requirements, just so you can kind of get an idea this morning, because it's a mess. It's a total mess this morning. When we're talking about chain requirements this morning. And I'm going to just put that up here so you guys can see that. But we'll kind of see what's going on with everybody else this morning. Have a nice dusting of snow in Junction City. I certainly appreciate that. We've got Laura saying, for the coast, does it look like, oh, you were asking about, yeah, I think there'll be snow up there. I think I was just doing a little research on that. I do know that it's at a pretty high elevation. So there's most likely, if there's not already snow up there, there probably is snow, would be my guess. Jackie's saying, busy weather this week. Sheesh, absolutely, it's busy. And I've got family coming to visit today. And I've got all kinds of stuff going today, tomorrow for weather. And so I'll be able to get a little bit of time with my family as they, come in here. If it wasn't for the weather, NorCal, we wouldn't be getting this great coverage. I agree, Curtis, but you know, I'm a little partial. This is crazy forecast. What a week. Sugar added. Yes, we were talking, of course, with cookies, right? So much fun. So much fun. This has been kind of an interesting round of weather, without a doubt. So that's going to do it. Now, let me know if you have any questions here. We got some more people kind of calling in, checking in here as well. Betty saying measured 4 inches of snow this morning at 6:30. City of Mount Shasta, lightly snowing right now. Okay, so there you go. You're getting some snow. I think that snow will probably pick up in intensity. And of course, as you know, the ski park will be open, but you got to get through that snow first. So hopefully you have a car that can handle getting and driving in those wintry conditions, because if you want to get to that fresh powder in Mount Shasta, which I'm sure a lot of people are going to be trying to do, be careful. Oh my gosh, be careful. We all know that ski park highway can be a bit of a mess. I'm sure they're doing what they can to clear it out, but I'm sure it'll be very slick. So please be careful if you're heading out to the ski park today. Let's take a look at what some of the cameras look like. We'll probably have a little bit more daylight, so you can probably see things better. There is Fawndale exit, I believe, and I'm going to double check just to make sure. Let me see if they're still doing chain checks. So as of 7:09 this morning, just a few minutes ago, northbound 5, all vehicles are being screened for chains in order to proceed 10 miles north of Reading at Fawndale. So if you don't have chains, I'm guessing if you have an all-wheel drive with snow tires, you're probably okay. But if you don't have chains otherwise, make sure you got the chains, because they're not going to let you go. Looks like any snow we had at Pitt River is now in the form of rain. We also had snow up at Lakehead. Looks like that has melted as well. That's at 1,100 feet. Let's see what we got going on elsewhere. Mount Shasta City, there it is, the snow. There you can see Snowman Summit. Snow is coming down so hard, it's piling up on the camera there. This is Central Wairika off to the left there. Anderson Grade, North Hill. Doesn't look like we're seeing a lot of snow currently in those locations. We can see Collier Tunnel. This is in North Del Norte County on Highway 199, north of Collier and also the state line. Again, getting a little bit more daylight so we can see some of the snow that we're seeing out there. Grass Lake on Highway 97. Doris, also seeing that lake. Lake. We're also seeing that snow there. Buckhorn Summit. Now that's the base of Buckhorn Summit, so you can bet there's more snow at the summit there. Oregon Mountain, Berry Summit, and Highway 299 West in Trinity County. 299 East, Hatchet Mountain. Looks like Caltrans has really cleared off the road there pretty well, but Cedar Pass definitely has a lot of snow on there right now. Shingletown proper, you got the snow there. Lassen Park, Bogard Ranger Station. Oh man, it's just a snow-covered highway there. Highway 3689, Chester, Johnson Grade, Fredonia Summit. Tons of snow up there. Wind probably blowing too. And that's why we got that snow accumulating on the lens. Looking at Highway 36 and 44, snow, Town Hill. Looking at East Riverside in Susanville. It's snowing up in Susanville, that is for sure, as predicted. And we take a look at Highway 395. And there you can see, of course, the snow, also in Doyle, and Highway 395 at 70. And now we take a look at Highway 70. It's getting worse. That snow is piling up. It's been progressing from west to east. So now the eastern mountains are getting in on that snow, and it's going to be coming down, folks. It's going to be coming down. In fact, I want to remind you, too, of a quick resource that you can go to check the latest road conditions. Go to weathernorcal.com, and then from there, this is what it looks like. You got all these cool cameras at a quick glance, what we just all looked at here with those cameras, and a quick look at the chain requirements. You just click on that and you can get the latest. We got a couple of other cameras. We're going to go ahead and refresh this view, which unfortunately that's not the case here. I believe it goes into cameras, webcam. There it is. Let's see what it looks like right now. There it is. So it looks like the snow has stopped a little bit out at Lake Almanor. This is Plumas Pines. We'll kind of put this in full screen here for you. Beautiful shot. What a great shot. I'm glad I discovered this camera. I'm going to see if I can talk to them, see if I can get access to this and just put it in my weather computer. But it's lots of snow. Look at some of the snow that's accumulated. It looks like several inches. You kind of, unofficially look at it and go, oh, that looks like about 4 to 6 inches there of snow. That's pretty cool. And they've got much more snow on the way. All right, let's get you out of that one. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and take a look at, see what it looks like in Chester proper. Snow is still coming down there, and looks like the snow plows are now kind of starting to do their job as well. So it's a lot of snow up in Chester as well. Very cool, very nice stuff. Let's take a look at, but obviously not very cool if you have to drive in it. That's for sure. All right, let's take a look at some of the other cameras out there this morning, see if we can see anything. Checking in this morning, and there's Lucasota Ridge. There's the story right there. Snow is a-coming down. Soda Ridge. There's look at Fort Jones. I love this. Looks like they're seeing even a little bit more snow. They're going to be looking at more snow here for today. Fort Jones, Etna. You're looking right down there in Scott Valley in Siskiyou County. What a cool shot. Picturesque. We're looking at Lake Oroville this morning. A different story, right? We've got much warmer temperatures in the valley, so as a result, yeah, you're looking at rain. A couple of other people are checking in here. I didn't check this morning. I didn't just been checking here. There we go. Thank you. Made hungry for cookies. Yes, I did. Snow in Modoc. Oh, yeah. Ronnie, thank you for that report. Got about 3 inches. All right, cool. And we're going to see less snow, but snow nonetheless in places like Modoc County. Snow in Crescent Mills. Thank you for the update. Oh, and good morning. Good morning to you, Lori. Thank you for that report as well. So we're getting snow in Crescent Mills. We got all those great confirmations coming in from you. There's a look at Main Street Chico. It's looking a little wet there this morning. Wet roads on Highway 99 at Neal Road. It looks like a little gusty. See the camera kind of pushing in the wind there a little bit. Highway 44, Sundial Bridge Drive. Looks a little wet out there this morning. In fact, as I was reporting earlier, the rain was just kind of coming down in Reading. Oh, looks like the Trinity Center. I don't see any snow there. Interesting. I'm not sure what that elevation is, but there should be some snow up there. I wonder if that's an old image. And there's a look at Crescent City this morning as well. And now we're going to take a look at Lassen Park. Absolutely gorgeous. All right. Well, I hope that you got out of this forecast what you needed. This is what I wanted to talk about. Oh, look at this. There it is in action. They are plowing away. It looks like they're doing a nice service for that business where the camera is, and they're plowing the parking lot for them. How cool. Look at that. They're clearing it out for them. In action. Don't hit the building. Looks like they're doing a little backwards. Ah, look at that. Clearing out. That's kind of fun to watch. We'll keep that up here. But here's what I'm going to do. This right here. We're going to talk science now. So we're looking at the Reading Airport. This is what I was talking about earlier, where you have a vertical profile. Kind of hard to see, but if you look at my cursor right here, this is the forecast for tomorrow morning. Let's take a look at the forecast for tomorrow morning. So right over here, this line, if you see my cursor, this line is the freezing line. So here's the deal. We've got a dry slot of air that is over the valley, and that's why we don't anticipate there to see. You see that blue line and that green line? So here's the green line right here. And excuse me, the red line right here. That's the temperature line. And this green line, oh, excuse me. The dew point line is the blue. Give me a second here. The blue line is the dew point line. That's where the moisture is. The red line is the temperature line. Okay? So you see here, when they're touching each other like this means that there is some snow, because this is at the freezing level. There's snow there, but below that, it's a dry slot. So it may have a hard time making its way to the ground because it's so dry at the surface. We'll see. But if we see any precipitation in Reading, it could be in the form of snow, because again, everything is in that freezing level point. Okay? Now, to give you an example of this morning, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Let's do this one. So the freezing line is right here. Right here. See that freezing line right there? So all of this is above freezing, what we're seeing this morning, and that's why it's all in the form of rain. Okay? But what we saw for tomorrow, that's all at the freezing point. And here's Thursday morning. Now again, we're going out 60 hours, folks. But the freezing line, the blue and the red line are meeting, number one. So we've got saturation, we've got snow, and it's right there. At the surface is freezing, and then of course above that is below freezing. So this is why we are seeing the potential for snow in the valley. Now, this is for Redding. This is for the north end of the valley. I want to show you something. I'm going to take you back. I got to take you back here a little bit. There we go. I'm going to go and take a look at Corning's profile. Let's take you into Thursday for Corning's profile. Same thing for Corning. 0 degrees right here. That is 0 degrees Celsius, by the way. And we've got the potential. Look at that. The rain, the snow that is, the temperature and dew point temperature are right there on that freezing point. So we could see snow even as far south as Corning, which would then tell me that, yeah, Chico, Oroville, possibly. So this is the science behind what's going on. We look at that vertical profile, and we can certainly see that. So I just wanted to show you that. That's kind of the backing up what I was talking about, the potential for snow. Good morning, maybe 3 inches outside MacArthur. It's still coming down. Let's see, let's go put you in there. And still coming down, though. Looks like wind is picking up as well. Thank you, Tracy. And it's saying steady rain at 800 feet elevation west Redding. That's what I expect. Thank you, Matt, for your report. That is. And Tracy's saying, my dogs sure are happy to see the snow. They always are, right? Isn't it fun to see the dogs get excited about the snow? All right, well, I've got to get out of here. I've got to, keep watching what's going on here and check out what's going on with the forecast. But I want to remind you of a couple of things here before we go. While I still got you here, I want to remind you to check out the 24-hour streaming channel. This is a great resource. You can have it on all day and just have it on in the background. It's got some really cool music by a buddy of mine by the name of Craig Padilla. He's the music source that you hear in the background. You can watch on your smart TV. You got Roku. Just search for Weather NorCal in your Roku. Fire TV. I believe there's a new update going on for Fire TV, and it should start working again. And I believe we're also got working on Apple TV, so hoping to get the 24-hour channel to Apple TV as well. And it's always available on YouTube. Just search for Weather NorCal in any of the app stores on your smart TV. Of course, if it's YouTube, just search for Weather NorCal and you can watch the 24-hour channel there. What I also like about the YouTube channel is you can on-demand watch the latest video forecast. So they update at 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. And sometimes if I'm feeling generous, I may update them as early as 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. So you can always check the latest there as well. And that's a great place to see where you can check out all the forecasts, right? So I'm available all over the place, folks. You've got an app. You can watch the latest video forecast on your app. I'm just loading up right now, right? There's the 24-hour channel that loads up at the top. And you can also click here to watch the latest video forecast as well. Road conditions are right there. All kinds of great stuff. Search for Weather NorCal in your app store and you will be good to go. All right, that's going to do it for us this morning. Have yourselves a great rest of your morning. Stay safe if you need to be on those mountain highways. I don't recommend traveling in the mountains if you have to travel. Be careful. Please be extra careful out there. That's going to do it for us this morning. I'll have updates for you at noon, and then again at 6 o'clock this evening as a need be. I'll do a live update, but probably just a recording. And then I'll be back here again tomorrow morning at 6:30. Have yourselves a great day.